in general, I watch a lot of like comedies and things of that nature. But now that I kind of know how things are made with this horror genre, I have like a whole new appreciation for it. And once I found out that I was cast and going to be a part of this franchise, I like dove in and started watching them. And so whole new appreciation now.
The Halloween franchise is, one of the most iconic in any history, horror, film, whatever it may be. What about Halloween Ends, though, really caught your interest to want to be a part of the project?
Well, okay, to be quite honest, I actually did not know it was Halloween Ends. I didn't know that it was even a part of the Halloween franchise, but I was super excited about it because I really connected with the character. I just knew she was going to be a lot of fun to play. But obviously, once I did find out that it was part of the Halloween franchise, I couldn't have been more excited because this is one of the most revered, horror films in Hollywood history, if not the most. So to get to be a part of this and to get to be a part of the end, which is the perfect bookmark, to the beginning one in 1978. And now I'm in the end, which is, once again, they just bookmark each other perfectly. So I'm over the moon to be a part of this.
Deb is such a fun supporting character throughout the film. What was it like for you getting to the heart of her to bring her to life on screen?
I had so much fun creating her character. So when I first got her audition sides, I just played with them. I just had so much fun with them. Honestly, I used a prop in my audition, and that helped me kind of find her. And when you watch the movie, you do see that I play with some props here and there. And playing with that just gave me this level of sass to her. And and then once I sort of grabbed that sassiness from her in that scene, I just kind of tried to carry it throughout all the other scenes, just to make her as fun as possible.
Now, given that this film does have a lot of very serious moments, did you find that challenging, trying to balance its tone with that sassy nature of the character?
No, not really. Not really. To be honest, I mean, like, I kind of treated each scene separately. And, it was nice because Deb got to show a lot of colors. Obviously we see a wide range of colors from her, but I just carried the heart and core of her with me into each moment as they came.
That's a great way to approach it then. It works very well in the film. What was it then like developing your rapport with Andy for the film? Because, I mean, you two are obviously sharing the most of your screen time together and you have a great banter throughout.
Yeah, she was so fun. So, I mean, like right away, obviously we spent like a lot of time together in the hair and makeup trailer every day that we shot. So, I would sit next to her for hour and a half to 2 hours, getting ready, each day. So it was nice to be able to kind of like establish that. And then like once we got on set, everything was just there and she was so easy to work with, just a fun, person to be on set with. I just really enjoyed connecting with her and bouncing back and forth lines with her.
Do you remember any one scene being filmed or being rehearsed with her that you felt that chemistry just really click with one another?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think of, two. So the very first scene that we did together was actually both of our first days on set. I think she had filmed maybe a little bit the day before, but this was like her first full day and it was my first full day. So both of us were kind of having our first big days together. And so that was a nice little bonding experience. And, like we were holding each other's hands. You can't see that part, but there's one scene where there's a crowd and we're kind of holding each other's hands as we walk and enter to sit somewhere. And so that obviously brought a nice little connection. And then another scene is obviously when we're together at work and we have a nice little scene together. And that one was just so much fun to just, I'm not, my character, I would not say that she should be nominated for Friend of the Year. She definitely has her own agenda going. But if you know the scene I'm talking about when we're at work together, but that was another really fun moment to just get to play lines, toss the ball back and forth to each other. Although even though Deb's not, she kind of hogs the ball.
Just a little bit. Now I do want to dive into some spoiler territory. Obviously, Deb doesn't make it to the end.
Oh no.
But
say it ain't so.
But as a fan of the franchise, it's actually pretty amazing getting to see that iconic kill from the original film of Bob for Deb in this one. And I'm curious, did you notice those parallels when you were filming the scene or when you saw what was going to happen?
Yes. When I first came on to the movie, the director and I had a conversation, and he actually mentioned that to me, that was the reference. So right away I knew, and, went back, watched the original, got, full appreciation for it. And I could not be more excited to have that as part of Deb's journey.
And how did it feel actually in that moment filming it, knowing that this was the reference and knowing that it's a kill that means a lot to a lot of franchise fans?
I tried not to let my head go there of the importance of this scene, for all the fans, but tried to just kind of settle myself in doing the good work and being present, with my fellow actors in that scene, and just kind of living and breathing in that scene for what it was in all of its terrifying glory.
Yeah, I'm sure Deb was not having as much fun with it as audiences are. And I've talked with James, and he is just a lovely human being. But I mean, how is that for you, seeing that switch, on set, from him being this very personable guy to this just monster going around killing people?
Well, let's just, for the sake of spoilers and people who haven't seen the movie yet, yes, I definitely have an encounter with that mask, which is absolutely terrifying and frightening to see that mask coming at me. But I really don't want to give anything away, because I know that there's still so many people who haven't seen the movie yet. And I don't want to ruin any surprises, because as we know, there's so many surprises in the movie. And I really don't want to ruin any of them for all the tens of millions of fans.
Okay. So how have you felt seeing the response to this one then, now that it's out? I mean, it's been very divisive among both critics and audiences.
To be quite honest, I feel like I've kind of been so busy. I haven't been reading too many critical things. For me, I've been overwhelmed actually with all the love and support that I've gotten through my Instagram. And so, yeah, I've been really receiving incredibly sweet DMs and comments on my posts of people enjoying Nurse Deb and enjoying the movie.
Jamie Lee Curtis is, it's funny how she always talks about how she's not a fan of the horror genre, even though she is well known as being one of, the faces of it. And so I'm curious, were you a fan of the horror genre before coming onto this, or did this just really catch your interest so much that you threw the genre out of your mind to be a part of it?
Like I mentioned before, I didn't know what it was when I auditioned. I actually did not even realize it was a horror movie, because that one very dramatic scene that we'd seen in all the trailers was not a part of my audition sides. So I actually had no idea what the genre was. For me, though, I would not call myself a huge horror fan previously. I'm someone who scares easily. And so in general, I watch a lot of comedies and things of that nature. But now that I kind of know how things are made with this horror genre, I have a whole new appreciation for it. And once I found out that I was cast and going to be a part of this franchise, I dove in and started watching them. And so whole new appreciation now.
Do you have a favorite Halloween movie outside of this or the original?
I loved the 2018 David's first reboot one. I love that one. I feel like it's phenomenal. So I would say that one, and then the original, the 1978. Those two are my top two for sure.
I'm right there with you. Those still sit at the top of the list. I mean, some of those sequels are fun, some are not. Well, that is all the questions I really had, Michele. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I greatly appreciate
Yes.
it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hope you have a good rest of your week.
You too.